Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was born on October 26, 1961, in Nairobi, Kenya, just 2 years before the country attained independence from British colonial rule. He is the son of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, Kenya's founding president, and Mama Ngina Kenyatta, Kenya's former First Lady. His first name, Uhuru, means freedom in Kiswahili, a symbolic choice reflecting his father's lifelong struggle for Kenya's independence. Growing up in the household of the country's first president, Uhuru was exposed early to national politics, leadership, and the responsibilities that come with public life. The Kenyatta family was, and remains, one of Kenya's most prominent and wealthy families, with business interests in agriculture, banking, tourism, and real estate. Despite this privileged background, Uhuru's upbringing was relatively disciplined. His parents emphasized humility, respect, and the importance of serving one's country. Uhuru began his education at St. Mary's School, Nairobi, one of the top private schools in the country, where he completed both primary and secondary education. During his time at St. Mary's, he developed a love for sports and leadership, serving as a class representative and participating actively in school debates and drama. After completing his secondary education, Uhuru proceeded to the United States, where he attended Amherst College in Massachusetts. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in economics and political science. His time in the U.S. exposed him to Western democratic systems, global economics, and international politics. The education and exposure he gained would later play a crucial role in shaping his leadership style and policy priorities in Kenya. Upon returning to Kenya, Uhuru joined the family business empire, which includes holdings in Brookside Dairy, Heritage Hotels, Commercial Bank of Africa, CBA, and vast agricultural estates. He managed some of the family's agricultural enterprises, particularly William Kenya Limited, a company dealing in horticulture. Through this work, he gained first-hand experience in agribusiness management and job creation, themes that would later influence his economic policies as president. Although politics had always been part of his family's legacy, Uhuru initially stayed out of the political spotlight, focusing on business and community development initiatives. Uhuru's formal entry into politics came in the 1990s, when Kenya was transitioning from a one-party state to a multi-party democracy. Encouraged by then-President Daniel Arap Moi, Uhuru joined the Kenya African National Union, KANU, the ruling party that had been in power since independence. In 1997, he contested the Gatanga parliamentary seat in Kiambu County on a KANU ticket but lost to Moses Muigai, an independent candidate. Despite the defeat, President Moi saw potential in the young Kenyatta and continued to mentor him. In 1999, Uhuru was appointed chairman of the Kenya Tourism Board, and in 2001, he was nominated to Parliament and appointed Minister for Tourism and Wildlife. His performance in these roles raised his national profile as a capable and youthful leader. As President Moi neared the end of his final term, he endorsed Uhuru Kenyatta as his preferred successor in the 2002 general election, making him the KANU presidential candidate. Uhuru's selection shocked many within KANU, as several senior leaders felt bypassed. Nonetheless, Uhuru campaigned across the country, presenting himself as a symbol of continuity and unity. However, he faced stiff competition from Mwai Kibaki, who ran under the National Rainbow Coalition, NAC. The election resulted in a landslide victory for Kibaki, who received widespread support from reformists eager for change. Despite the loss, Uhuru's concession speech earned him respect for his humility and statesmanship, qualities that would help sustain his political career in the years ahead. After the 2002 elections, Uhuru became leader of the opposition in parliament, marking his transformation from Moi's protégé into an independent political leader. He rebranded himself as a reformist voice within KANU, challenging aspects of the new government while supporting key reforms. During this period, he also built alliances with younger politicians and began appealing to a broader base beyond central Kenya. In 2005, Uhuru opposed the proposed draft constitution supported by President Kibaki's government, aligning himself with the No campaign that later evolved into the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM. This alliance, however, was short-lived as political realignments shifted ahead of the 2007 elections. In the 2007 general election, Uhuru initially supported President Kibaki's re-election bid under the Party of National Unity, PNU. The election was highly disputed and led to widespread post-election violence that left more than 1,000 people dead and hundreds of thousands displaced. As a key figure in Kibaki's campaign, Uhuru was later appointed Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance in the Grand Coalition government formed in 2008, following a peace agreement mediated by former UN Secretary-General Kofi Annan. As Finance Minister, Uhuru introduced reforms aimed at modernizing revenue collection through the Kenya Revenue Authority (KRA) and promoting fiscal discipline. His tenure was also marked by efforts to attract foreign investment and expand infrastructure spending. In 2011, Uhuru Kenyatta was among 6 prominent Kenyans charged by the International Criminal Court (ICC) in The Hague for alleged involvement in the 2007 to 2008 post-election violence. He faced charges of crimes against humanity, including murder and persecution. Uhuru consistently maintained his innocence, arguing that the charges were politically motivated. In 2014, the ICC dropped the case against him, citing insufficient evidence and non-cooperation from witnesses. The episode, however, had a significant political impact. It galvanized his supporters, who viewed the case as an attack on Kenya's sovereignty and leadership. Ahead of the 2013 general elections, Uhuru teamed up with William Ruto, another ICC inductee, to form the Jubilee Alliance. Their partnership, between Uhuru's The National Alliance, TNA, and Ruto's United Republican Party, URP, was a masterstroke in political strategy, uniting 2 large ethnic voting blocs. Running on a platform of national unity, economic growth, and digital transformation, Uhuru and Ruto won the 2013 presidential election, defeating Raila Odinga. On April 9, 2013, Uhuru Kenyatta was sworn in as Kenya's 4th president, with William Ruto as his deputy president. Uhuru's first term focused on infrastructure development, digital governance, and economic transformation. His administration launched Vision 2030 flagship projects, including construction of the Standard Gauge Railway, SGR, connecting Mombasa. Uhuru's first term focused on infrastructure development, digital governance, and economic transformation. His administration launched Vision 2030 flagship projects, including construction of the Standard Gauge Railway, SGR, connecting Mombasa to Nairobi, expansion of road networks, ports, and airports, implementation of the Huduma Center initiative to streamline public services. However, his tenure also faced challenges, including rising public debt, corruption scandals, and unemployment among youth. In 2017, Uhuru was re-elected after a fiercely contested election against Raila Odinga. The Supreme Court annulled the initial election over irregularities, prompting a repeat vote, which Raila boycotted. Uhuru won the rerun and was sworn in for a second term. The election's aftermath was marked by political division until the 2018 handshake between Uhuru and Raila Odinga, which symbolized national reconciliation and political stability. Following the handshake, Uhuru focused on his Big Four agenda, prioritizing affordable housing, universal healthcare, manufacturing, food security. He also pursued infrastructure expansion, including highways, power projects, and technology investments, making Kenya a regional economic hub. His administration, however, faced criticism over growing debt, governance issues, and strained relations with his deputy, William Ruto. Uhuru Kenyatta retired from office in September 2022, handing over power to William Ruto, his former deputy and political rival. Despite tensions during the succession period, Uhuru committed to peaceful transition and continued to play regional roles in diplomacy. In 2023, he was appointed as a peace envoy for the Great Lakes region and Horn of Africa by the African Union, focusing on mediation efforts in Ethiopia and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Uhuru's legacy remains complex, characterized by major infrastructural achievements and advances in digital governance, but also criticism for debt accumulation and corruption. Nonetheless, his leadership is credited with modernizing Kenya's economy and stabilizing its regional influence. Uhuru is married to Margaret Wanjiru Kenyatta, Kenya's former First Lady, who is widely admired for her Beyond Zero campaign, aimed at reducing maternal and child mortality. The couple has 3 children, Jomo, Jaba, and Angina. A devout Catholic, Uhuru is known for his humble, easygoing demeanor and love for farming, football, and music. He often refers to himself as a servant of the people, emphasizing unity and peace as the pillars of leadership. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta stands as one of the most influential leaders in Kenya's history. From being the son of the founding president to serving 2 terms as head of state, his life reflects a blend of privilege, resilience, and national duty. His presidency reshaped Kenya's infrastructure, strengthened regional diplomacy, and modernized government services. While not without controversy, Uhuru's legacy will be remembered for his vision of a modern, united Kenya, one striving toward prosperity, inclusivity, and peace in an ever-changing African landscape. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.